Okay, Mars moved into Aquarius yesterday, and it meets Pluto early this morning, awakening our inner warrior within us. We become the crusader of an idea, of a cause. We dare to go after what we want. We demand change, transformation, and definitely a release of the old patterns that no longer support us. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the cosmic energies. Together, we'll gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy, utilize this energy, and move forward today and every day. So, hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. You guys absolutely rock. I send it right back to you. Welcome to your daily focus for February the 14th, 2024. And I did put out a special Happy Valentine's Day video for you, all about growing and stepping into greater love and the expansion of love in your life. And I've utilized the stars, I've utilized the numerology, I utilized the cards to bring you, I think it's about 15 minutes long, but it is jam packed with information and actual ways that you can start to move forward into greater love. So let's start with the numerology. Today we have the 14. The 14 energy is all about having more by having less. It's about having that balance, that understanding of what we truly need in order to be happy, in order to be joyful, in order to be motivated, in order to be filled with passion, anticipation, joy. If we and 1 plus 4 is a 5, so it is all about creating happiness, creating joy, smiles, giggles, dancing in the rain. It's about allowing our creativity to flow. Now, if we look at the daily numerology, it'd be a 2 plus a 5 plus an 8, which gives us a 15 energy, and that is the phoenix rising out of the ashes. And I think over this week, just the weeklies alone, I think I used that over and over and over again. The phoenix rising out of the ashes as we all break through those glass ceilings this week in one way or another in different parts of our life. So 15, 1 plus 5 is a 6. That's looking at our habits, our behaviors. It's also about building relationships deeper and stronger. As far as the astrology is concerned, we have the sun in Aquarius and we have our moon. Our moon is in Aries, at the very start of the day, but by 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it moves into Taurus. Now, Mars and Pluto meet in the sky. Our inner warrior comes out, and we dare to take steps towards what we want. We have this strong sense of purpose during this time, and we need to stay mindful of an impatience. Okay, any kind of impatience or where we push through energy that's just not ready for us to go through yet, that'll just trip us up. Also, any kind of buried resentment could actually push us towards actions that don't even align with reason. So make sure that you have reason behind all of your actions. If not, then understand what is motivating you to go forward in this way. This is a time when power struggles can arise. We can easily push ourselves into exhaustion. This is a time we decide to tear it down, start anew, or build something from the ground up. We may have this intense drive for change, for transformation. We want to break free from the old patterns and challenge the status quo. We may take very assertive action to support a local cause, a social cause, an innovative idea. And there more than likely will be power struggles and conflicts during this time. Remember that it is at 0 degrees, and 0 degrees is about brand new, intensified, electrified energy coming at us. We feel calling for personal growth. And going within may uncover some hidden fears that we have laying dormant, leading us subconsciously but not consciously, but also hidden desires can come awake during this time. Okay, so let's see what the cards reveal. Now, stay till the end, okay? Because I've included a little clip at the end of the video of my Jim Warren painting behind me entitled Painted Horse. And a very big shout out to Park West Gallery and Blaze. Without Blaze, it would have been next to impossible to purchase this extraordinary piece of art. I mean, Blaze, I just like Blaze, I've got no money. I'd love to have it, but I have no money. So I gave him a little bit of a reading, a more intense reading than I would for, um, just giving that little blurb that I give to most people. So he appreciated the light I shed on his life and his path going forward, and he incorporated that into um, giving me the deal of the century. Anyways, the cards, you say the cards, Tilly. I know. I can't say enough wonderful things about Blaze. He was my rock star. He really was. Okay, our underlying energy is the Empress today. Wow, this is about planting new seeds. I mean, talk about new electrified, intense energy coming at us. We see the new seeds we want to plant. We see the vision of what we want to step into going forward. We want to create, we want to invent, we want to expand our world, we want to give birth to something. Maybe it's a rebirth, maybe it's a rebirth of ourselves. Maybe we are the phoenix rising out of the ashes today. Maybe we decide that that was me yesterday, but going forward, this is me. This is what I do. This is what I look like. This is what I talk about. This is what fills me with passion. This is what fills me with joy. This is what I'm going after in life. Okay, so the Empress shows up. She's usually shown very pregnant in most decks, but she's always sitting near water and she's always out in nature. So ground yourself in nature. Okay, and probably when you're taking that stroll through the woods or down that shoreline, you will get that aha moment, that epiphany of exactly what seeds you want to plant going forward, of exactly what you want to give birth to. Invent, create, give life to. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, talk about intense here. Okay, we start with the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the first thing about the Ace of Pentacles is something usually comes in to tell you that you're on the right path. Okay, you want to take that job, but you don't have the right wardrobe, and the neighbor from three houses down knocks at your door and says, hey, cleaning out the closet, I wonder if you could use this. If not, could you hand it off? And it's like the perfect wardrobe. It was what you were envisioning if you went out shopping. And there it was dropped off at your doorstep. Or the only way that you can go to this location of work is by having a car, and right now your budget really isn't about a car. It would have to be a very cheap car, and that's not going to last long. It's going to have more problems than it's worth, so it's not even worth investing in. And somebody says, hey, I know somebody who's leaving country. They want to sell everything very, very fast, and I thought about you with the car. He's willing to sell it for this. And, your eyes light up. You start doing a tap dance because, yeah, it's a little bit more than you can afford, but you can do it. And you can say yes to that job, that passion, that dream, that desire that you wanted to step in so badly. We see the new awakenings is what I heard in my mind. So new beginnings, we have awakenings, we see paths where there were no paths before. Or maybe we just have more of a confidence with ourselves that we can do this, that we have potential that is laying in wait of being used, that we haven't even scratched the surface when we really truly look at what our potential could look like on the outside if we willed it to be so. Well, look at this. The devil shows up, the 15 energy, the phoenix rising out of the ashes. This is where you let the old just fall right away. You let it fall into the fires and you let it burn to ash, and out of it you rise. You rise anew, a rebirth. So what isn't, what doesn't have value? What doesn't support you anymore? What are the, especially, the old patterns that we have just kind of stayed in, and now we've made a rut for ourselves because we've stayed in these holding patterns, and it's time to break free from those things. It's time to, once again, I'll say it, crash through that glass ceiling. Okay, and we have the Two of Wands, so we are summoning in what we want. We are saying out loud, I want this in my life. I want it this way. I want it this way or better. And then you consciously show up. You give it 15 minutes a day, a half an hour a day, 3 hours a day, whatever you can afford in time. And what about your energy, your vitality? Can you give it 15 minutes? Can you give it a half an hour each and every day? Regardless, and those days that you don't want to do it, those are the most important days to do it, by the way. Even if you don't get anything done, but you sit there in your office or in your study or at the desk or at the work table, at least you showed up. Maybe you didn't get anything done, but you showed up, and that counts, and that matters. And when we start to get that mind frame, it becomes habit. We don't feel right if we don't do it after a while. And then it just becomes second nature. We don't even think about it. It's just part of our day. It's as normal as getting out of bed. I just feel with this intense energy. I mean, this is one of the strongest things that we'll feel this year. Although there's other things coming, I'm telling you, it's a wild year for energy. Look at this. I knew it. The Emperor. So we have the Empress for our underlying energy. We have the Emperor for our fourth card in. So as we go forward, we become diplomatic. We understand. We want to win the war. So do we want this fight? Do we need to meet the challenge? Do we need to just walk around that and do our thing and prove through action rather than words? We are also highly intuitive during this time. Now, the Emperor, he makes the plan. He makes the strategy. And he doesn't try and learn everything he needs to know about going forward. What he doesn't know, he surrounds himself with people that do know. And he taps into their wisdom, their knowledge, their talents, their abilities. And he doesn't have to go with what they say, but it adds into, more knowledge so that we can meet that end goal, so we can have success at the end. And the Emperor doesn't hope and wish and, wish upon a star and none of that for him. When he sets out from his plan and starts implementing that strategy, he expects it to turn out like he saw it turning out or better. And those are the only two options with the Emperor. We'll take one more card here, then we'll move on. Look at this, the Six of Swords. We are going forward. Okay. Now that boat is made so that it could, be fitted with a motor quite easily on the back end there. But we sit there with our stick and we've been patiently waiting, and it's time to go. It's time to push ourselves out into the uncharted waters. It's time to go and explore the world, the adventure, the opportunity that lays in wait, the unknown, and allow it to feel like anticipation rather than the fear. The swords in the front of the boat are your wisdom, your courage, your strength, your knowledge, your intuition that will lead the way for you, that will part the waters, so to speak, for you. Okay, we will get an oracle card. Oh, it's deep down there. Okay, we have higher ground with the 20. Now, the 20 often symbolizes forks in the road, turning points in our life. Going to higher ground, perhaps an elevated path. Maybe we need a different viewpoint of what we are currently looking at. I'll hold that up there so you can see it. There we go. Nice and clear for you. Look at that, Ron. I'm figuring it out. Move your thoughts, emotions, and outlook to a new perspective. Take your overview of what is going on. Just through shifting your perspective, you will be able to see the whole situation with a clear light. A different course may become apparent. You will be able to focus on what is most important to you. Make a conscious effort to get above the situation. If there is nothing pressing in your life at the moment, although I highly doubt that's the case for just about any of us out here right now, it's a very busy time in life. But if there is nothing pressing in your life, consider something that may be unresolved from the past. Use the same idea of climbing above it with the intention of healing it. Once you achieve higher ground perspective, you may find yourself filled with peace and a beautiful outcome. And we'll see what our animals have to say today. I think it was the Journey of Love card at the very end of the Valentine's Day reading that just, left me breathless. And we have the raccoon of the inventor. Because we started with the Empress, who is the one about creating and inventing and giving birth to, but we also have that Aquarian energy. And I mean, that is the pool that we get the majority of our inventors from. The ones who think outside the box, the ones who think things must be fair, the one who thinks that they are a dynamic soul, but they want the experience to be for all. There's a fairness about them. A truth. So we have the raccoon here. Decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. I had a pet raccoon. So they're a very cool animal to have as a pet. Anyways, decide on what you really want. I mean, just take that first line. Decide on what you really want. Plant those seeds. Make the plan. Create the strategy. And then move. Then move on it. Don't sit there idle right now. We want to move. But we want to think it through. We want to make sure that we're not being, we can be selfish and not harm anybody else. So, just make sure that you're not, running over people's toes and burning bridges as you go. Keep that line of communication open with people. And if they don't like what you do, well, then people of integrity expect to be believed, and when they're not, they let time prove them right. So, on that note, happy Valentine's Day, and stay tuned. I'm going to be putting the video on the end of this. So, until we meet again, remember, I do love you. And now, on to the painting. Okay, so here is one of the paintings that I got on the cruise. This is by Jim Warren. And if you are not familiar with his work, he was the only artist to ever receive a Grammy for his work for the Bob Seger Against the Wind photo cover, or the album cover, I should say. He is also one of the few licensed painters through Disney. And I just thought that this just captured life so completely. We run through this turmoil, the struggles, the challenges, the lessons we must learn, where we constantly strive for our tomorrow, knowing that it is in our future, knowing that we still need to go forward through the chaos. And we come upon the rainbow, we run through the rainbow. We are essentially rebirthing ourselves, being the phoenix rising out of the ashes, giving ourselves new life, new direction, new positivity as we reach towards the shore and we feel strong and determined going forward.